Okay.
All right.
Perfect transition to I think everyone's second favorite segment. I was thinking we could call it bar rags, because like a newspaper is a rag, and,
like
and
I like it.
you have to explain it every time you introduce the segment. Welcome to
how
bar
you know
rags,
it's good.
because like the newspaper.
Yeah, it'll stick. You
So
just
I'm gonna read to you guys an article that I thought was kind of funny. It's an opinion piece, of course, because that's where I get my news, is from the National Post opinion section.
very opinionated.
And this one's called "Renewed Patriotism: The Silver Lining in the Federal Election." And this is just from less than a week ago, May 21st. It was published, written by former Toronto ward councillor, the losing Conservative candidate for the Eglinton Lawrence riding, and Pennywise the Clown impersonator, Karen Stintz. And listen, that's very mean. That's very mean of me to say.
Mean and good.
And she's a perfectly fine and normal looking person. It's just one bad picture on Wikipedia. They did her dirty with that picture. Yeah, they did her dirty with that picture. They found her in a sewer with a red balloon, and they snapped a shot. And like I said, that's very mean.
You're a horrible person.
But I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna address that.
Okay. Why it's okay to call her that, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, why we should be making fun of.
Why she should be living in a favela.
What is that? Okay.
One
We're gonna have to have a jar. We're gonna have a jar
Swear
where you
jar.
have to put $1 in every time you say favela.
Yeah, we're going to retire. Okay.
It's a good word. Anyway,
All right,
so
take it away here, sir. Let's hear what you got to say.
it goes without saying that the recent federal election did not end as I had hoped for. But instead of looking in the rearview mirror at the election that she just lost, one must appreciate the silver linings that have emerged. While acknowledging the separatist rumblings in both Alberta and Quebec, the country has experienced a bout of patriotism that hasn't been evident for some time. It was only a few short years ago that our government wouldn't fly our flag on our national holiday, and Canadians were shamed on a regular basis for the sins of our forefathers. Our apologies and daily acts of contrition were not enough to end the legacy of colonialism and oppression that had come to define our nation. Whoa. Good start.
Yee.
Then we experienced the ultimate in election interference, thanks to U.S. President Donald Trump. I think she's blaming Trump for losing her riding in this past election. By all accounts, the ballot question should have been how to build a more prosperous country after a decade of economic decline. Instead, the ballot question oddly turned into a referendum about Trump. She's not that wrong.
No.
Canadians, in a grand act of patriotism, voted for the guy they thought could stand up to the boogeyman south of the border. While going door to door, I reflected on the houses proudly displaying Canadian flags. By and large, house after house, those displaying large flags were voting Liberal. I mean, that's probably just what they told her to get her to leave. No, we don't have any children here.
Yeah.
I got thoughts. I just want to, I don't want to interrupt too hard.
This was a new development, since the proud display of the Canadian flag had, until the election, been reserved for those who supported the trucker convoy. Now, the truckers are proudly joined by Liberals in standing up for the sovereignty of our country. Is that really what the trucker was about? Was that about
No.
the sovereignty of our country? Maybe in an
It
ad.
was hiding fake weapons in a trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was about hating the cops, but also loving them.
Yeah. What the hell? This lady... This is the
real
lady you showed us a
thing.
picture
This
of?
is
With her laser eyes?
to make the joke land, but I think it's a pretty big misstatement of what both the trucker protests and that whole movement was about, and also what this election was about. I don't think she's entirely wrong that it's clearly there was a big swing when the Republicans made their moves down south, but
I just kind of think it was just really odd that so many, especially the boomers, were about the whole fight Trump thing.
sure.
I just didn't feel like there was what about the issues here though?
Right.
It was more like, let's get the guy who's going to take on Trump.
Well,
Okay, but what about the ongoing stuff here though?
like I've said before, I think for better or worse, a lot of people's Canadian identity is defined by its not being America, and that's about it.
Which is the most crazy, the craziest thing in all these platforms is do you really have to say Canada's not for sale? You actually think like, oh, it takes such a brave person to say that. Like, for anyone, any politician. Like,
I think it was
such a stupid thing.
I think it became sort of a symbol of it. I think ultimately Mark Carney is more likable than Pierre Poilievre, and that's just kind of.
Still
I mean,
popularity contest. End of the day, really.
Yeah, and you trot out that vampire Stephen Harper in those campaign ads.
Oh my God! During
with
the
his
hockey
very
game?
human-like smile. Yeah,
that's what lost it
that's
for him.
enough to swing an
Where
election.
you were 400% too close to his face, and then it's like, it just holds on it, and it's just like that was.
All right, Stephen, give us a smile. Oh, beautiful, very natural.
Yeah,
You've clearly smiled before.
That was Galchenyuk. Like that's I don't know that. Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, I guess Pierre was very popular because he was bringing up the stuff that was happening on home soil, the issues, and people are like, yeah, we need to more.
He was popular because he
that.
wasn't Trudeau.
Yeah,
for a large part of it, I think.
I think he still has it, but I don't know. We're gonna.
He didn't pivot well enough.
No, exactly. I think people point to Trump as the
that's crazy
big factor. I think Trudeau dropping out is obviously the single biggest factor, right? I mean, that's kind of obvious, goes without saying, but anyway, it continues smarmily. It appears that our experiment as a post-nationalist state has concluded. We can once again be proud to be Canadians. And again, this is like. Whatever. I'll save it. But her understanding of what people are proud about, I think.
Why can we be proud? Sorry.
Because we're flying flags again, and it's not
okay.
And anti-vax people and liberals are now arm in arm, and totally not divided at all. It's a
oh God, it's more divided than ever.
No, exactly, and I don't think she's saying it's not, but I think she does have a pretty. I think it's a conscious misunderstanding of what is going on. Hopefully now our government can get out of the apology business and maybe try the governing business for a change. We can also finally dispense with the colonialist oppressor theme that took our country down so many useless rabbit holes. We can stop the intellectually dishonest pastime of renaming schools and streets as a way of demonstrating our commitment to a more just society. We can stop virtue signaling and trying to rewrite history. Maybe on July 1st this year, we will celebrate the great experiment of Canada. Because, everyone knows that Canada Day has been canceled for the past 9 years.
Where did you find this woman?
This is the little town in Maine.
Oh.
That's where it is set. But
I was like, oh, yeah.
Pennsylvania?
Every book he's ever written, yeah.
It's Maine, yeah.
He's a Maine man, yeah.
He is a Maine man. That's Stephen King.
Isn't Halloween based in Pennsylvania, in a made-up town, Haddonville?
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyways,
No, Northeast,
continue.
baby.
Pennsylvania is a scary place. But anyway, so like that's... Anyway, perhaps Sir John A. Macdonald can be resurrected and removed from the metaphorical and physical box he has been put in and restored to his place as our country's first prime minister who connected this country from sea to sea. So, wait. Brian, when you were taking the citizenship test, I guess Sir John A. Macdonald just didn't pop up on that at all. He's been... no,
I never heard of that guy.
He's been imprisoned for the past little while.
Entombed.
Yes, exactly. Well, that is true. So clearly the Conservatives learned a lot from this election, and their grievances are even more annoying. And also, like, why does she think that Liberals, just because they fly a Canadian flag, are now gonna like stop land acknowledgements or something? Like, what? Yeah. Clearly, she's not learning anything from this. But she does quote American philosopher Eric Hoffer. Every great cause begins as a movement, becomes a business, and eventually degenerates into a racket. Which is true. That's capitalism for you, I think. But let us hope that the colonialist, oppressor, equity-seeking, trigger-inducing experiment Listen, let me just take another sip here and make sure my vision's a little clearer.
Anyway, while he's drinking, everything's facts, straight facts. I agree with everything.
This woman,
dangerous facts.
She has the look in her eyes is very appealing to me.
Listen, and like I said, that's really mean to say that about her, but whatever.
No,
go
she's
on.
got that look. Like someone's gonna die.
Yeah. So
soon.
Let's pretend that Canada's always been great and we never did anything bad. Our schools can go back to teaching and our workplaces back to producing. In this new world, we can start identifying as Canadians and not by gender, race, sexual orientation, or ethnicity. Yeah. So like when you're at the bar and a girl comes up and like wants to know like what you're into and stuff. Like, so like what kind of girls do you like? What's your type? Oh, I'm Canadian. Like, we don't talk about that anymore.
Show
All
me
you
your
need
badges.
to know is that I was born
Papers, please.
here. Yeah.
The cynic might think that the Liberals exploited Canadian nationalism to simply get reelected. All right, well, she's starting to make more sense.
Yep.
If that were in fact the case, they now have a problem. Nationalism can't be turned on and off like water from a tap. Canadians have rediscovered their pride, and it's vastly better than shame. And like, so I think that she actually touches on a decent point. I think for a long time, liberals have sort of been missing, liberals and maybe the left as a whole, because liberals I don't count as left, right? But what we are kind
What
of
do you
missing,
count the Liberals as then?
very centerist
to the
left. Yeah, they're
swinging to the
center
left.
center
Well, because
left.
now Carney, but before they were more left. Than,
NDP was
really.
left or were until they lost all their seats.
Liberals, liberals as a
Yeah, I'm a CCP or PCC, PPP.
liberal,
I'm a
whether you're
PPP
talking
guy.
about somebody who identifies as a liberal or somebody who identifies as a capital L liberal party.
NDP's died with Jack Layton. I hope you know that, right?
You think? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Man. I was never mind.
Yeah, I think that there has there's
off
always
Jack
been
Layton.
this need for a sort of counter to the conservative style patriotism,
Yeah.
which is like happy and fun, right? Like the liberals have always needed that, and
Yes.
the left itself, and I think sure, but that itself is like so different than what conservative patriotism is all about. So like, and it's also why I think the liberals won this seemingly unwinnable election, is because they actually did offer kind of a, maybe she's not entirely wrong. They did offer kind of a
I didn't hear
rally around this identity of we're not American, we're Canadian.
Sure, but like, when has that ever been challenged? Like, when? Just because some president who just wants views says a couple of catchphrases, then you have to like.
I mean, she's talking about she's greatly exaggerating for
Of course,
effect,
of course.
right? About this like nobody even celebrated Canada Day, and our flags were all folded up and just gathering dust, like nobody cared and all this. But like,
Yeah.
I think there's like,
I get it. Like when you're in the the world stage, right? You're like it's like the Olympics, right? Everyone's showing their true like their flags and but like I don't know. Like I just wanted like Mark Carney. Sorry if I deviated from this.
No.
I wanted him to kind of talk. Like he stole a couple of points from Polyev, but I wanted to hear Mark say less about I'm a Canadian, we're Canadian. I'm not gonna let us not become Canadian. I'm more like, okay, there's also a lot of like crimes, and here what we're gonna do. We're gonna lay it out because it is an issue, and people who are crying out can't be heard, and like I hear you. Like if he would have done that, I think he would have it would have not even been no contest.
Did they
at all.
focus on the domestic issues much during the
I-
ramp up? Because
to be fair, I didn't really see much of his platform because I wasn't interested in it. But like I didn't even see commercials through the eyes of Stephen Harper. I didn't even see it. His is more like we're gonna get together, we're gonna stand tall, and not like
it was vibes based. For
it
sure.
was. It was more like steal what I think was made Polyev more popular, which was like we got crimes, we're gonna homelessness.
Well, I think maybe that's the point I'm trying to make is like,
I don't know.
she's talking about the cynic might think that liberals exploited Canadian nationalism simply to get reelected, and like, yeah, they did. That's called
Definitely, yeah.
politics,
Yeah.
and like conservative nationalism has always been exploitive and political as well, right? And it betrays the values that I think are what I think of when I think of Canadian values, right? Like helping the poor and welcoming refugees and the poor and protecting the environment and all this, right? So like I think she might think that this now it's okay to be Canadian and we don't have to worry about ethnicity and gender, but I think if anything, this kind of hopefully spells doom for conservative style nationalism, right? But
I don't even know what that is. We haven't had a conservative majority
For a long time.
long time.
Also,
I don't even know what that looks
We
like.
live in Ontario.
I know.
so
when was the last time
we
when was the last time we had a
exactly.
conservative?
we had so
Exactly.
right now, like we have had a conservative premier for
yeah,
know,
you're right.
So it goes on here. We'll just go on. There is also the fact that the new prime minister has gone to great lengths in a short time to reestablish ties to our colonial past by asking King Charles to give the speech from the throne when Parliament resumes. In this act, Carney sends a strong message that Canada and Canadians are proud of our place in the Commonwealth and its ties to the monarchy. I think she sees like she's kind of shaping this to
where's this
to be
going?
optimistic when it's maybe not signaling what she thinks it is. But it will be the first time in over 40 years that a monarch has given such a speech here. Hopefully, someone discussed the matter in advance with Governor General Mary Simon, or at the very least, saved her a seat. And so this line is what made me think, like, okay, it's okay to make fun of this woman's looks. Because what she's doing, basically, is saying that the only Indigenous Governor General we've ever had, she's like reveling in the fact that she'll, like, be bowing to the king. And, like, listen, Mary Simon had, like, the most bland... not even criticism of the crown, but was just like when King Charles took the throne, she was like, oh, well, he's not as popular in Canada as his mother. Like, he's going to have to work to gain, like, the love of our country and stuff. And, you know, and she made, like, some very lukewarm comments about, like, maybe, like, Canada wants to think about what the future of our relationship with the British monarchy is, right? And people who are like Canadian monarchists, like, you know,
Never met
shit
one.
their pants. Well, they're out there.
They
They're
exist.
weird and
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
they're also all very wealthy and anyway, but like the actual like monarchist groups that like had issue with this statement, and like I get it. She's like the representative of the crown in Canada, talking about maybe there's a future where we don't need that relationship, which I mean I'm fully on board with, but and they're saying, oh, she should never have said that stuff, and so maybe this Karen Stintz is one of those types who, or I think she's just being smarmy in the same way she was about the you know sexual orientation, gender, ethnicity stuff, and basically laughing about how this Indigenous Governor General, who's only ever, other than that, like said very positive things about King Charles and the crown and stuff, is like, ha, now you have to be uncomfortable with this, and like, oh, well, maybe it's okay that I make fun of her looks. So that's why I decided.
I think this lady's nuts, and she's pulling from something that's not really there. I don't know.
There's a lot of that, yeah.
Yeah, but no, you found a good person to target.
Just one closing. One. She should have maybe ended on that fire line about saving Mary Simon a seat, but it ends with the fact that Canada was never for sale, but over the past 10 years, the Liberal government has tried to discount its value. If there's a silver lining in the past election, maybe it is remembering what it is like to be proud to be Canadian. And, like, that's fine. But what she's talking about, the people who voted Liberal because they're proud to be Canadian, they're proud to have not elected a Conservative. That is what the rallying thing was. So I don't know that it's going to... I don't know that, you know, that everyone is now like, yeah, you know what, those truckers were actually just Canadian loving folks, and I like them now. So I don't think this is going how she thought it was gonna go. And that's not to say that's not to make any kind of statement on the job I think that the Carney Liberals are gonna do or anything. But I think by and large, culturally, that conservative stuff doesn't win. I think a lot of people, the problem that they had with Poilievre, conservatives and liberals and other, like myself, a lot of our biggest problems with Poilievre was he wouldn't shut up about wokeness, even like it's like 2018 or something. Like he.
But I think that there's a mass majority of people who just don't want to have that jammed down their throat anymore. And I think that's a half.
You know what?
Of it.
You know what? I don't want jammed down my throat. Not shutting up about wokeness being bad. That's way more annoying than woke ever was. And woke shit, you know, can be annoying.
It can be,
But hating it is even more annoying. And I don't think you're right. I don't think a majority of people. I think the reason Poilievre lost, or the reason he was unpopular, is because he just has that completely unlikable douche aura of a guy who won't shut up about.
I think he's well spoken. I think he put a lot of liberals in their place, and a lot of times, like he came down to like he was obviously copying the Trump like one-liners, like
At least Trump won.
yeah. But
Trump
I'm just saying, like that's I think what people were just fed up with a lot of stuff, and that was what Trump had. And,
Right.
I think I never took it.
They
as
were
hate,
fed up.
but
They were
like,
fed up all the way to the polls, where they voted for
Yeah.
Pierre Poilievre to not even win his own riding.
Well, it was I think one of the bigger outcomes in voting in a while.
yeah, it was
right?
well, yeah.
But I don't know the actual number, but I want to say the old people came out for the Liberals.
Oh, for sure, big time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Big time.
And yeah, I just like we'll see if Carney's going to come out with his housing stuff that he said. We'll see. Like
Yeah,
we'll see if
Carney's-
anything's changed. It seems just
Carney's getting a lot of
see.
criticism for
Yeah.
basically pushing through policy without going through the House of Commons at all.
open up Parliament again. Like
yeah,
what
yeah.
the fuck? Like that's
Get to work.
I have questions. Okay, so I also participated in this election
Yes,
for the first
down
time.
here. Oh yeah,
Ooh,
true.
what was that like?
Canadian.
I went to a dusty community church center thing, and
You're one of us now.
None of the names were the names I thought because I didn't realize it was the local boys.
You didn't know.
I was like,
how it
where are there people? And
I don't
thought
see
had
Donald
a-
Trump here
Yeah,
at all.
I thought I had brain trauma. I was like,
starts
oh, no.
voting for them all.
Yeah, well, there were a lot said like
Check,
communists
check.
next to them. I thought it was like communism. I was like, what's happening?
There's a
Yeah, they were like, I don't know. I was curious if you guys, what were we talking about? I voted.
nice
Step one. I
Yeah,
voted.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so how
I
was your
voted.
experience?
So that's how
How
you
was
know
your
it was
experience?
legit.
Yeah, how
like,
was it?
There's really the fact that it got me to vote. I also wanted to participate, and I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
your
good
first
thing
one as
for
a
an
citizen, and-
uninformed person to be voting. So I am glad that I'm becoming more informed for the next go around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, and who knows when it'll be. But and it seems like it'll be Poilievre v Carney again, right? So
Probably. From what little research I did do, it seems like it was a perfect storm because I think the Conservatives were up 27 at the end of the year points,
yeah,
and with the whole suddenly the war on tariffs was coming through.
the war on tariffs.
War on tariffs.
Nice.
And there were also, and then the guy never changed his platform when Trudeau jumped down, so Pierre never really swapped his.
Well,
he
it
just kept
was
parroting
not
chugging
pivot,
along
yeah.
with Trudeau because the Trudeau made the Liberals fed up,
Yeah, oh, big time.
right?
Yeah.
And I was actually scared that Chrystia Freeland was going to be brought into the cabinet,
That would be the
That would-
worst decision
Oh.
they could ever possibly make. Yeah, yeah.
but
And like
I don't know. I haven't looked into it too much, but it's just who voted, who didn't vote. Will Alberta snap off?
Right.
Float in between.
well, she didn't help matters either.
Danielle.
Yeah, she didn't help matters either for the federal Conservatives, but and then
I could see her being prime minister one day. I could.
I don't think so. I just don't think I think that kind of thing is rejected. Like
my words.
Mark my Carney.
Mark my Carney.
I don't think so.
My favela.
I think largely we are put off. I think by and large Poilievre is just a revolting guy, and most people don't want that.
I actually don't. I actually like how he's kind of like a smartass and he sticks up to people who are just like yap. Like
It's fine to be a smartass, but
he won my heart on that Zoom meeting where he put Justin with his graying beard in his place about the WE Foundation and like the first time where you actually had like
bro, Poilievre was also a young leader on the World Economic Forum.
Sure.
So
but
this
he was
is
asking
so-
where the money was all going, right? Like
Sure.
he had stumped him so bad, and it's just like this guy's not afraid of.
It wasn't tough to stump Trudeau, but
Trudeau just was tough to shut up sometimes, right? Like
yeah.
So like you need someone that on either side, sure, but you need to have like someone who's willing to. Yeah.
All right, admit this though. Poilievre would have a better chance of winning if he didn't take off his glasses.
That's huge, right? Because like he is R.L. Millhouse.
Yes, he
right?
is 100% Millhouse without the glasses. Yeah.
And then obviously he has no choice in what his team's saying. Like maybe he's sexier without glasses.
Yeah, whatever.
Who
Whoever started that
the
focus
fuck
group should be
thinks-
fired. Yeah.
Who thinks glasses comes into play? Like I actually started wearing my glasses at work because I have to write on a little work tablet and I
Right.
can't see. I'm like I'm not as
No, it works.
hot as
Actually,
you guys.
I like taking glasses off because then you squint and everyone thinks you're doing like the blue steel, and I can't see the
True,
text.
true. Yeah, we could be the glasses guys.
Yeah. So I
Glasses gang. Bifocal bunch. Go on.
I don't know. It's kind of like the Leafs missing the playoffs. It's going to be dissected for a very long time.
It's true.
Like,
it's true. It is a
it's
choke.
too
It is a
long,
legendary
right?
choke.
It is a
Yeah.
and I think once Trudeau left, that's when that 26 lead changed because the Liberals who were leaning on the fence of like anybody but
When
Trudeau,
Sam Bennett punched Trudeau in
Yeah.
the head and took him out.
I really don't think it was like, oh, he should have done this maneuver and that's why he lost. I think it was just like everyone was leaning towards conservative because that was the only choice at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he got those Liberal votes back. Like I know people had made up their mind a long time ago, so I don't know where these dumbass polls came from because there was polls saying they were in the lead, being the Conservatives, and it was back and forth, and it's just
Yeah, by
I don't know.
By election day, they were calling for a Liberal majority. A lot of them.
But now it's changed, so it's not like it's kind of nice where it's like both parties can now like challenge each other, where it's not just one goes like I have the ruling, it's done. There's no more coalition. There's actually like voting.
Yeah.
Like there's actually a lot closer. NDP got a, and I blame Jagmeet and his crap like for losing. Like what? There was nothing to. It was just like people were laughing at him.
I think
People were laughing at him when he was saying I'm going to be the next prime minister.
Well,
and then
yeah,
he
I
would
mean,
just
that is a-
piggyback.
yeah.
Like there was no backbone in him, and if he.
I think there was a backbone. I think there just wasn't a message. There wasn't an ability
Okay,
to.
there wasn't a backbone to the message then.
Yes,
right?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like,
No, I think as a person, as a politician, he's. I mean, he really is actually the most successful NDP politician, definitely since Leighton, but
no
probably
Jack.
even what's that?
He ain't no Jack.
No, of course, no. But he, I think he'll be remembered for some of the things that he got Trudeau to
Yes.
to push through, and that's
Like dental
that's
care.
fine and stuff. But he'll also be remembered as the end of a NDP era because
Yeah.
For now.
that's another video for
For
another
now.
day maybe. But like
Yeah.
where do they go from here? Right?
NDP.
And yes, nice, yeah, NDP of an era.
He's doing a TikTok.
I have
and,
questions for you guys. So for my perspective was, how do you feel about the fact that the new Party Plus system is not so plus anymore because they both
Now
third
we're
and
basically-
fourth, it's basically a two-party system.
It always was. I mean,
Yeah, but
Yes.
I mean, at least
Yeah.
a slice of the pie. Well, actually, I think saying still has to like they still have to like ask him if they want a majority vote in order to get over
Yeah.
half. They still have to convince the NDP to do it, even though they have less seats. Than
it doesn't
ever.
have to be the NDP.
And
It could be
Isn't
the bloc.
Isn't the
It could-
French
Bloc
now?
has less
Yeah.
seats too, though, than the
The
NDP.
Quebecois?
The bloc has more seats than the NDP.
They only need 4, right?
They only need 4 votes to pass something.
So I don't know how many the Quebecois have, but probably around that.
No,
it's not many.
A lot more than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like Andrew said, it's a pretty tight. It's a tight House of Commons, and that's kind of why. I mean, that's why so far you haven't seen anything put to votes, right? The budget stuff is. I forget by what mechanisms they're kind of pushing these budgets through without approval and all this, and without tabling anything, but. Yeah, they're basically existing right now on sort of a touch and go basis. But once they get back to arguing, and once Poilievre's the fact is Poilievre wouldn't be in the House of Commons right
Yes.
now if
Yeah,
right?
if he
So,
didn't
like,
steal the seat from the other guy.
yeah, exactly. They're gonna have to parachute him into friendly Alberta, and
Listen, at the end of the day, it like doesn't affect us point blank, like this election in the sense where it's like nothing changes every day. But I do want to see some change, and I would love to be proven wrong about this Mr. Carney fella. I would. I
think-
would. I'd be like, damn, things are kind of affordable again. Damn, he's done this to make things.
Did you Did you even see him dancing down with Webster or
Oh.
whatever?
Wait.
Come on, bro. He's
Wait.
cool.
Wait, he danced?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got cool dad energy, Brian.
He has drunk uncle energy.
Yeah, drunk uncle who's
Like-
like a venture capitalist and
Yeah.
ruining this
Yeah.
country before he even got into
like
office.
he's not like a slob, but he's the one guy who looks absolutely pickled at the party.
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
like, come here, Mike. I
he's-
want to
he-
tell you. So come here closer.
He's like the
I
very
wanna
straight-laced guy, but
Yeah.
then every
He
now and
sounds like
then
30
he'll have
rise, you
Yes,
know?
exactly. Yeah, on Christmas he'll.
say. I think he'd be like that cool where he makes like the oh yeah, did you hear the joke about you know?
Oh,
yeah, I don't
yeah.
think he'd even be cool. I think he'd be uncomfortable
Really, I don't.
because he's so because
I think
you go to his house for Christmas because he's the rich one,
drunk old man
but
vibes.
yeah.
Even though he doesn't like he's rich man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm just saying, if he was a normie, he would just be like that uncle that either
Right,
gets
okay, yeah.
too drunk or. I guess there's I mean, all politicians are creepy.
Yeah.
Right? Even the lady who writes that article.
Yeah, I mean,
With
she
her-
feasts on the souls of the innocents.
Yeah, through the dead eyes. But yeah, I would like
And-
to be proven wrong. I'm just saying that out there. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not here to
Well,
hate all the opposition, but like,
I think federal. So much of what affects our day to day is provincial. I mean, and municipal too. But I think it's to the point where like federal politics has just become like you're happy your guy won, and because you get to laugh at the other side. Because like that's I don't
Yeah.
like Mark
Yeah.
Carney. I don't like the Liberals,
Yeah.
but you can be sure that I went on a Maple Leafs like laughing spree when Polyev lost this election, right? But it's sad that that's what it's come down to, is that's all we have, because like nobody has hope, really. Like,
just
I think-
remember to leave your keys at the front of the door when the thieves come to
I
take
don't
your
get it.
cars.
Oh, yeah,
Because there's nothing happening there.
I mean, the
Like I said-
we don't have an RCMP here though.
Like-
Like policing is.
But you know what I'm
is
saying? Like, there
provincial.
wasn't any talk about that, saying like, just steal Polyev stuff and add it to your already thing, and then you obliterate the conservatives. That I just thought, like, take all the stuff that he was talking about to talk to the people, the champions people, and then like steal it, and then just do that, and actually show that like
I think there was a little
I don't know.
bit of that when it comes to like
that was kind of lame.
pipeline type stuff. But even then, they've had like some flip flops. Like his cabinet's a mess too. Like we could next time we can get into
The gritty.
into the into the Carney cabinet a little bit, because there's some funny characters there. So
We can make it a drinking game
go on.
somehow.
How?
I don't know.
We drink whenever
Every time
we
we
feel
spot
like
corruption?
it. Every time we spot corruption, yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Make something, because I don't want to put people to sleep here. I know this is riveting information.
Oh yeah.
but,
Well, this is
this is getting 3 Canadian guys' takes.
Here's a classic. This hour 22 minutes. Remember that show?
course,
Yes,
yeah.
they were on fire.
They had a thing about that. Did you hear about? They were like, it's funny that C&T, if you know who I'm talking about with those, they both Carney and Trump, is that they're both
Carney and Trump.
two
Oh.
super rich guys that both don't know how to speak French.
yeah. That's
I think the problem
Yeah,
is
22 minutes was.
They were
on
going off.
fire
No,
with the
they're- yeah.
skits.
they were
On
going
fire.
off. I it was a perfect storm. People don't like Trump because he was
I can't
pulling
take
some
off
shit.
my glasses again.
Polyev was too close to what Trump was saying, and
Well,
then
that's-
people started
yeah,
to really
exactly.
not like Trump more than usual.
And then
Yeah.
Trump was like, "I would love to work with a liberal."
Yeah,
He
yeah.
tried the whole flip thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like,
Carney's more likable, in my opinion, just from third eye blind view. He just seems like
yeah. It doesn't take long
But
to.
a lot of the comment section is like, I'm a banker for 20 years. You probably shouldn't trust a banker.
Oh, obviously
So-
not. No, this guy has worked for like.
Yeah.
In the private sector anyway, he's worked for some of the most like vampiric sort of companies, and
So who
pros and
knows?
cons to each, right? Not like Pierre's a career politician.
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like, so
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
not
he's
like-
he's a everyman just like us. Yeah,
Yeah, they both are.
Like he did grow up in the did he grow up in Alberta?
Yeah.
yeah. So, and then where did Carney grow up? Mars.
No, I think it was a British boarding school where.
Yeah, he lived outside of
Where he
Canada.
beat up-
all
he
the-
also beat up Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, yeah.
most of his life he was not here.
Yeah.
I think.
Which is so weird. It's just like, okay, mysterious figure, come out from behind the curtains. You're hired.
Yeah, and that's
It was really weird.
Yeah, very
No, I
good,
found that- I
very
found-
good trick to be like, I'm not like Trudeau, even though I hang out with him all the time.
Yeah.
like I said. There's not much hope for the federal Liberals. I don't think. What I really think most of people's grievances are provincial issues, man. Like and I think more and more now the federal government is vibes based and is setting vibes. That seems to be what people care about anyway. And like I said, I think the only after the few days of being like, it's funny that the Conservatives lost, you just go back to normal life, and I don't have a whole lot of hope anyway, but we'll see what happens.
Do you think houses will be affordable in our lifetime? Sorry, I know we're taking this on a tangent.
So I don't. I think
Is that like just a lost thing for either?
to get to that point,
We need war.
would take something that conservatives and liberals are both unwilling to do. Yeah, I mean, you know my answer. You know my answer.
It
is
would be to kiss.
it's everybody kisses and
Wait a
moves
minute,
into
what?
one big house together.
Yeah.
And is a happy family.
They would hate to do that. They would hate to kiss and make up.
Right. No, it's
Like that.
yeah, I mean it's so basically there was a thing just I don't know how long we want to go, but just the other day there was whatever Carney's housing minister is talking about how we're going to build all these houses, and then they were like, are you like, would you be on board for like devaluing current house prices and like current real estate holdings kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Which is like kind of what you have to do in a sense, and it's sort of what, you know, in theory is what happens when you build a bunch more supply of housing is, you know, the house you're in that you just bought or whatever, if you were to resell it, it would, you know, now be worth less because there's so much more supply and all that, right?
Exactly.
And he was like, no, we're not doing that either. And like, you know, the most people that vote are like of the typical age that are homeowners. Sorry, I just got distracted thinking about that other terrible conservative commercial. Those two guys golfing.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
life
yeah,
is
yeah.
so bad. I just had to put a down payment on my kid's house.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Yeah.
golfing during the day and you have enough money to
Yeah.
buy a second
Asshole.
house. Like, I don't think you're hurting, man. I don't think this is going to
so,
resonate.
so out of touch.
Yeah.
So out of touch.
Brutal. But yeah, what it would basically take is to no longer have housing tied to investments and land ownership or like landlordship, I guess, you know, like it
Yes.
needs to be completely it needs to be a public utility basically, and like I'm not saying there can't be privately owned houses or personally owned houses is what I would say, but the whole structure of private like investment groups owning property needs to disappear. There needs to be a lot more public housing, and not in like the negative connotation of like crime ridden and in poor areas kind of thing, right? But just an option for affordable housing that isn't tied to somebody you know, making money off of the shelter that you need, right? And you know, I own a house, so like if it meant my house is the value of my house is cut in half, but like homelessness and just home insecurity, and so like rent is cut in half, then you know I think that has enough downstream positive effects for me that I'm not going to be, you know, it's not going to be bad for me to now have a house that's worth less. And I think, you know, you can get into the weeds for like how that will affect mortgage rates and like how that should affect what you're paying the bank and stuff, and like what you actually end up owing the bank. Because if my house was worth $500,000 or whatever when I bought it, but now it's worth $200,000 because of government initiatives, then, you know, the banks, which also should be nationalized, but you know, anyway, there should all be some things put in place to soften the blow for all these homeowners who would never vote to devalue their properties, right? So it's such a complicated thing. It really is, and it's more than just we need to build housing. It has to be the right housing in the right areas, and that's on a, you know, neighborhood by neighborhood basis kind of thing. Like what kind of housing does one area need? I think Ford blocking those fourplexes and stuff is a disastrous move. Stuff like that. Like you look at a city like Montreal.
What is it?
And look at the density of their housing, and it's like, oh yeah, no wonder people were paying $900 a month for like a 3-bedroom, you know, a couple of years ago.
Well, when they say
It's just denser
housing, it's
denser
just.
housing.
I just hope it's not like
Fordplex.
Fordplex. Yeah, just call them a Fordplex.
I just hope it's not like when they say we're going to build housing, it's just like townhomes connected. Like,
Yeah, it always is.
I
though.
get it, you're running out of space here in a sense in Ontario. You're not getting more land, but
the
you know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
thing is, like,
to have detached homes with basements. Like,
you have to build something that people can afford to buy.
I hear you.
So it can't be luxury condos. It can't be like.
Yes, but not like. Yeah, we have homes now. You'll just wave at your neighbors
Yeah.
right through your walls.
It's
like,
easier to build one big building and then pretend.
Yeah,
like
oh yeah,
it's
100%. Yep,
17
yep. Look,
houses.
that's all houses.
Yeah.
It's not a house. That's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It needs to be.
Gotta be a little help before
It's a motel, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But
property tax and all that. Affording the land to wherever you're. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a municipal issue.
Maybe. Well, you know what? Maybe there needs to be a revolt.
I agree. Yeah.
Venezuelan revolt.
Venezuelan revolt.
Yeah.
Down to the favelas.
oh god, always goes back.
We need favelas.
Fill the jar.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was a good chat.
That was productive.
Yep. Whoever made it to the end, congratulations.
Yeah,
we'll give you a free beer.
Exactly. Whoever made it to the end,
Have a
use
drink. You
promo
need
code GOFUCK yourself. No, that's not true. That's not true.
Whoa, it's we actually don't have a promo code, but
No.
if you'd like to subscribe to our Patreon, we were always
That's right. That's
If you
right.
don't
have you.
subscribe, we're gonna show the picture of that lady.
That's right. Oh no! And
We'll
again,
never
I
see
want to
it
state.
flashing.
I want to state just at the very end when nobody is listening.
yeah.
I know it's very mean to make fun of people's looks,
True.
and especially women, frankly, because it's not cool for
Yeah, but you see Justin Bieber at that Leaf game? What an idiot!
what a
No.
stud.
What a dumbass!
Yeah, but it's not nice to make fun of people's looks. But I just thought the tone of her article was a
Well,
little
Very intense.
too
stare.
much to take.
That's all. I
And
don't
also,
know.
yeah, it's a bad picture. There are other
it's-
pictures
it's
where
not
she
her
looks.
face.
There's
It's
other
just
pictures
the
where she looks
eyes.
totally normal.
Like she looks like there's something off.
There's a lot of teeth in that picture too.
Okay. All right.
yeah, a lot of teeth is bad.
Well, it's
I like
much
the
teeth.
fewer the better.
Few the better. Yeah.
Pennywise-esque. Yeah. If you were- yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Are you saying there's some pictures you could like?
Oh,
I don't know.
that's for the Patreon episode.
Yeah, switch over to the Patreon. Yeah, I'll talk about that later then.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll
no,
do some-
explain when
Yeah,
when we're done here,
yeah,
please.
yeah.
'Cause I've lost.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Anyways,
maybe it's too much of this refreshing, cool Labatt Blue.
Okay, we're getting sued. We
No,
are
I
so
think we're getting
sued.
endorsed.
No one's ever gonna. They're gonna say this and be like, remove it, blank it out of your video, and never drink our beer ever again. Because
I'll just pour it into
you
Tim
go.
Hortons cup.
yep. All right,
Nothing will keep me away from my Labatt Blue.
It is. I don't know. I just.
It's tasty. It's nice.
I don't know. I got some more stuff. I got Radlers. Want to do Radlers?
Well, I think
next?
we're gonna drink something else right now.
Okay. All right.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks again for watching another Bar Minimum episode. Again, if you made it to the end, we thank you so much. And I guess if you made it to the end, leave a comment and
Can't
tell
believe
us.
you haven't commented.
Yeah,
already.
leave a comment saying whatever you want. Actually, tell us how good looking Brian is from 8 to 10.
Yeah. Scale of 8 to 8 and a half.
8.5.
Yeah, tell us how good looking Brian is, and don't comment on any of our looks.
No.
because we are very sensitive.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, we can
And we'll
we
go
can
home and
talk
cry.
about people's looks, but definitely don't make
Yeah,
fun of us.
don't
That's,
make fun
that's
of
too
me.
far. That's not cool, man. Come
please. I'm literally on the edge, so please
Yeah.
do not ever talk
on. Yeah,
about
definitely
me.
don't say that Andrew looks like the logo for a not very well rated sub sandwich restaurant.
Hey, it's Jimmy Slobby Sandwich. Come by on Tuesdays. We'll throw some extra meat we found in the back of the freezer.
Yeah,
Very good.
That would be nice.
nice. All right, there's our next.
Thank you for.
Oh boy. Here we go.
RFK is back, people.
He's getting possessed.
Yeah, it goes back. Thank you for watching.
So good.
All right, we're done.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I forgot to say mango Mussolini, which is